Hello. I am backstage in Utrecht, Netherlands. Timmy's in his jammies. Why you got the same jammy pants as me? It's our drummer.
You, mate, because I knew you had the best.
I'm not going to put him on the internet because he maybe doesn't want to show you his jammies. Yeah. I think about these things. He doesn't want to, he's got to present his cool image. You're a nerd. Wow. So second to last night of the tour, we just played here and it was fun. But I'm definitely ready to get some rest, go home and stuff. Yeah, it's time. Beautiful town though. Utrecht. You've been here ever? Any of you? It's about I would say I think 30 kilometers or something like that from, maybe it's further than that, from Amsterdam. The train only takes about 25 minutes, but it's pretty fast. So maybe that's not right. Maybe it's a little further than that. Maybe it's 50 or something. I don't know. Anyway, it's outside Amsterdam, and beautiful town. If you ever go to Amsterdam, come here too. Utrecht, gorgeous. There's canals. Not quite like Venice or something, but pretty cool. Sort of smaller canals than the ones in Amsterdam. And that's part of the Venice vibe, I think, but that's what it reminded me of the most. What are you guys talking about in the chat? Who's here? Let's see. We got Todd, we got Barry, Mr. Campbell's in Scotland, Eston. What's happening? Todd says, bet you're excited to go back home soon. I am. Yeah, I'm super ready for a little home time. Miss my cats and stuff. So much stuff has happened, man. I mean, like, oh my God, things in the world have changed so much since I left. It's so crazy. So it's just it's time to go home for sure. It's like a different season. When I left, it was solidly winter, and now it's like spring for sure is coming. Well, it was kind of chilly today, but it just feels different outside. I mean, it's actually starting to get allergies. Some of these places I've been from. It's like, oh, spring, interesting. Yeah, let's see here. Brexall says, figured due to the extreme shifts in temperatures in Fort Worth, it came from California caused the issues. The D-tune is fine. Good, man. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's always, good to intonation, truss rod adjustments, all that stuff. When you get it from California to wherever you're at, it can change pretty dramatically. So that's good though. I'm glad it got sorted. I'm hoping you're digging it. My knees hurt says trying to talk himself out of buying a guitar or not. One or the other. Getting one or not getting one. Which one is it? Tell us about it. I can't stay too long, you guys. I'm going to be here for about 35 minutes, something like that, because there's a dressing room curfew in this venue, and we have to vacate. So I got here as fast as I could. I had to pack my bag, get all ready to go. Hi, Wayne.
Hi, Pete.
There's Wayne Banks. Just look at him.
I have unused drink vouchers. Now the bar's shut.
Not going to do you any good. Good thing you're on a bus that's full of beer.
Oh, yeah. Great. See you later. See you, world.
See you, Banksy. That guy. All heart and a fantastic bass player. Let's see. What else we got here? Ben Coombs. Looks like Ben's here. That's cool. Thin Lizzy was one of the greatest guitar bands of the 70s. That's for sure. So many guitar players. Yeah, that's true. Gorham, Robertson, Gary Moore, John Sykes. We did a little bit tonight to start the show, as we have been doing every night. Love Thin Lizzy, man. I love Phil's voice, too. I always like Phil's voice. And his lyrics are so cool. Some of the deeper stuff was great. I always bring this up, but if you haven't seen the documentary on him that came out, I think it was on Paramount or something a few years ago. It's 4 or 5 years ago now, but really, really good documentary on him if you haven't caught that yet, if you like rock docs. So there is a super duper chat there from somebody. I'm going to catch that in just a second. Thanks for that. Fine bunch of folks here, says Ben. Agreed, as always, right? Yeah. I am in Utrecht right now. Yeah, that's true. I'm at your Tivoli venue, which is a fairly famous, well-known venue here, right? Pretty cool, old school venue. Oh yeah, the new EVH footage, Van Halen footage from both kind of like 78 tour and 84 tour, pretty great. Agreed. It's really cool. If you haven't caught it, it's all over Instagram and YouTube and stuff. Pretty fun. I gotta put some time in to watch it all. Yeah. Mark says he's got to go to Australia before he kicks the bucket. You haven't been? It's a great place. Kind of reminds me of Canada, actually, in many ways. People are similar. It's nice people, really outgoing, kind of outdoorsy. There's beautiful beaches. There's beautiful everything there. It's such a big country. So get all the way over to Perth if you get the chance, because I was really impressed with it there. It was beautiful. Some gorgeous towns outside of Perth. I visited a town that was really beautiful. It was kind of almost like a beach fishing kind of town. Couldn't tell you what it's called, but it reminded me of, I don't know, it's like, as it was to Perth, it was kind of like Orange County was to LA or something. It was a little more suburban, and then when you got to the beaches and stuff, it was really mellow and just really cool. So it was fun. You're pretty damn far from everywhere when you're there. I mean, unless you're, wanting to go to India or, I don't know, Thailand or something. It's like when you're in Perth, it's remote. Just to get out of there. I mean, if you want to go back to the States or Canada or wherever you're from or something like that, it's generally like a flight all the way to Sydney, and then you'll connect from there. And to get to Sydney from Perth is like flying across the U.S. But it's worth it, because you probably haven't met a lot of people who live in Perth. Right? It's great. I like it. I saw Flight of the Conchords there live. One of the best shows I've ever seen. I was about an hour and a half in. I was like, I hope it stops soon because I can't laugh anymore. If I laugh anymore, I'm like, my sides were hurting. I was laughing so hard. For those that don't know what Flight of the Conchords is, check it out. You should. But it was a great show. What else we got here? Let's see. There's a super chat from Richard. Would Mr. Scary Tube mod work on the PT100? Yeah, probably. I don't know if it would be a little over the top. It might be cool. I don't know. It is a pretty neat sound, So, and the original one's cool too. Like the Mr. Scary one is cool, the Lynch one, and then the standard one, whatever he calls it, it's Legendary Tones one or whatever, is really pretty good, pretty damn cool. So Rob here from last year's Vancouver show. Where did we play in Vancouver? Did we play in Vancouver? I mean, I know I was in Vancouver, but I was there for a private gig last year. Where did I play? I'm having a mental blank if I played in Vancouver last year with a band outside of the private gig that I did. Anyways, Missed the Utrecht show, sold out. I guess it was sold out, which is pretty wild. It's awesome. First time here in this town, so that's cool. It's a really interesting venue. It's like super tiered with like people like way up high, like super high in seats. Literally from the stage, it looked like there would be people up there if you were, lots of room between the rows, it looked like, and so they were spread out. It was interesting. Have you tried the Marshall TSL 100? I had a DSL 100, an original from 99 or so, 2000, something like that. that was pretty good. Decent, good working man's Marshall amplifier. The TSLs I tried sometimes I've never gigged one or anything, but I've tried them numerous times in stores and things. And I always thought, pretty usable. It sounds pretty good. I could definitely make this work, and it's pretty cool. Yeah. So, but I never, I don't have enough experience with them. But the DSL I used for a number of years. I mean, it was my gigging amp for the better part of, I would say 2 or 3 years. 2 years probably. 99 into 2000 into 2001. Kind of used it, for like a tour I was doing then. And I did a number of other things with it, like smaller gigs and things like that, and one-offs and stuff. Decent amplifier. Phil's voice and lyrics are amazing. Love the man. His voice changed a lot from the first album, Slayer. He definitely found his way by fighting. Yeah, I mean, the dude had a rough go, I mean, it's like being, mixed race kid growing up from, when was he born? He was probably born in like the 50s, right? From Ireland, and making his way in rock and roll as he did, and he was just like a force, man. I mean, he was so cool. Like, he was just cool. Like, that dude, just, epically. He just had such a cool presence about him, didn't he? It's weird because people don't really talk about him like, oh, he's the greatest singer. Oh, he's the greatest bass player. Oh, he's the greatest lyricist. He's just freaking cool, kind of like Chrissie Hynde is cool, from the Pretenders. She's just cool. She existed in her own space in a time when there wasn't a lot of other, like, women in rock and doing what she was doing and stuff. And she was just tough and cool. She's just like eternally cool. And that's kind of like Phil. It was just like cool. It was always cool. I don't know how else to describe it. Maybe that's an apt sort of comparison, like Chrissy and Phil, in their own spaces, like, just cool. Yeah. And great guitar players. Much like, there's actually some similarities with those bands. Great lyrics. It was about the songs, but there was great playing going on too, great guitar playing always in the Pretenders too, middle of the road solo, right? Like, how cool is that? And the guitar parts in Brass and Pocket and stuff. How cool is that, right? Different style, I know, but whatever. Yeah. Okay. What else are we talking about here? Let's see. John going to make the Oso with P90s? I think so, yeah. I think there's supposed to be a version of it with P90s. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah. Is that Fremantle near Perth? Not sure about that, actually. The town that I visited there, but it was really nice. I don't remember. I was just there briefly. And it's so long ago. It's 15 years ago. So, what are your thoughts on Celestion V-Type? Quite liked it. Is it a Greenback V30 or H30? I would say it's kind of between a Greenback and a V30. It's definitely got a Celestion sound, but it was like real versatile and cool. I have one in my Bella. And yeah, definitely good in there. Thought this Flight of the Conchords is hilarious. So good. One of my favorite shows. You know who turned me on to Flight of the Conchords? It was Chris Cornell. Turned me on to it. And he said, you got to, hi, bye, Jesse. And he said, you got to start with the Bowie one. Start with the Bowie episode. It's the best. That's the Bowie, do you smoke AstroTurf in outer space? It's so good. So I didn't know about it, and he turned me on to it one day, and then I went home, started watching it, became a huge fan. True story. Yeah, Fremantle definitely fits the description of where you're talking about. It's about an hour from Perth. That's cool. I'll check it out on a map and see if it I probably took pictures there, so let's see if I've got any of my metadata. Metadata. Yeah. Any dates for Satch gig? Want to come see you guys and if possible shoot pictures. Well, all the dates are on Joe's website that are currently happening, which is all Europe. It's all Europe. Europe. So we'll be over there. And then we'll see what happens with other stuff. Okay. What else we got here? Let's see. I'm having a brain fart if I answered the question in the super chat. Oh yeah, that was the that one from Richard. If this Mr. Scary model work, it would. I don't know that it's necessary. I mean, with the PT100, if you've got a newer one and it's got the MOSFET boost in it, you've already got that in there, and you can kind of kick the front end really hard with that if you want. If you haven't experimented, you can actually get inside the amp, and there's a pot on a PT100 that'll adjust the gain coming out of the MOSFET boost, so you can actually nail the front end of the amp harder if you want. It's generally set around half, so crank it up to 2 or 230 or something, you're going to get a significantly more boost going in the front end. And I like the legendary tones boosts. I think they sound good in Marshalls. I know John would cringe at the idea of putting one in a PT100 just because he hates the idea of things like that, like going on with his amps and the grounding scheme and stuff like that. But I like it. I like the sound it makes. So he's just, slightly nervous about things like that. Okay. I'm going to move down in the chat. Like I say, today's going to be kind of cut short, unfortunately. So I'm going to go about another 15 minutes, and then I'm going to have to split because they're going to close this dressing room area, and I got to get on the bus. Have anybody watched the stuff with Phil X, Steve Stevens, Sammy Hagar? They sounded so damn good. I got to watch it. I'll check it out. See, I bet they sounded great. Kings of Chaos gig, right? It was the first responders concert the other day, and was it in San Pedro or Long Beach or something? LA. I missed it. I'm sorry I missed it, but I'm over here. Did you see that Tracy Guns is getting more active on YouTube? I haven't. I should check that out. I've been a little bit out of the YouTube loop, I guess, a little bit. But other than doing this and putting up the videos that I've been putting out. What production 12x7 EL34 do you like in Marshall style circuits these days? Generally speaking, especially now that they're available again, Shugwang 12x7, just 3 of those in the front end that are tested in low noise, low microphonics. And then the TAD EL34 seem really good. The red bass that's the PS Vane ones, but if you get them from TAD, then I think they're tested pretty well and stuff. I've had good luck with them from there. I bought a pair. They're in my old Marshall 50 and they sound good. And I've got it on pretty good authority, which is Friedman. I don't think they've basically had any failures. So, he's bought tons and tons of them from PS Vane, and they test them and they're branded with, boutique amps, I think, logos on them. And they screen them and stuff when they come in, but everything that they shipped in amps and stuff, they've had no problems as far as I know. So, I mean, maybe very, you'd have to ask him. You can ask him on what's it called? Don't Talk, and he'll fill you in. But that's what I would do. Shugwang and the EL34Bs or whatever the heck they're called. Yeah. What are you guys talking about? Darby Mills. Darby Mills is amazing, man. She's still great. I've heard her sing recently. She's a killer. So let's see. Phil was born in Birmingham, spent his early years in Manchester. It probably said that in the documentary, and I'm spacing on it. But he basically grew up in Dublin, didn't he? Really? Because I think he really identified as being Irish. his mom being Irish, and or is there another angle to the story? You're saying his mom sent him to Dublin. I don't know. I got to look it up. I'll look it up so that I don't misquote and stuff like that. But I'm remembering something about that now. I know his dad was from England, right? And his mom, and then they weren't together. They split, and it was like he had a rough go at the beginning, I think. Okay, what else? Do you prefer tuning down or using effects to do it? I definitely prefer tuning down. I mean, but in a pinch, those things are getting better. The neural DSP algorithms for drop tuning are pretty amazing now. They're kind of incredible, like good enough where it's like, oh, I could use this actually professionally. Not for every kind of guitar part, because if you start throwing any kind of dissonant intervals at it, anything beyond a ninth, you start throwing, any kind of like chord tones that are, if it's root fifth, man, it's amazing, and octaves and stuff, it's incredible. Ninth, maybe to get more complicated than that, and especially if you're playing clean, you start to hear the artifacts a little bit of but it's getting really good. The pitch changing stuff is pretty incredible. Jim says I look tired. Yeah, well, the lighting ain't helping. When I've got a nice studio light, I'll give you an example. If I go like this, do I look better? That's lighting, but I can't hold the computer up like that, so it's like, nice even light on your face sure does a lot for your, looks like crap like this when you're in the shadows and everything, but that's just how it goes. And I am tired. I've just done 2 months in Europe and I'm thrashed. So did a 3-hour gig and now I'm ready for bed. But I'm here because Sunday Live needs to happen. Sunday Live. You have to say it like that. What are your thoughts on a crate stealth? Says Terry. Don't do it. Listening to Still in Love with You, Phil's voice is transcendent on that tune. That's a beautiful. Somebody's asking if I had fries with mayo. I didn't have a cone of fries with mayo, but I did have like a steak the other night that came with fries and a side of mayo, and I did it. It was great. It was really good, actually. Okay, what time is it? 44, so I'm gonna have to go soon. Just trying to stay on top of it. I don't want to rush out of here, but there is a super chat from Jimmy Ray. Cat treats and coffee. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Definitely going to be spending some cat time, getting some new cat treats, some new cat food, some new cat toys when I get back. Just snuggling the hell out of my cats. Patiently waiting for the PT50 for what seems like forever. Yeah, I'll hit up John when I get back and see where we're at. I know things take a long time, for sure. I've been mainly concentrating. I mean, I can't complain. I mean, they've been such great partners with bringing out my new red sparkle version of my HSS guitar, as well as the white and candy apple red with the new PT90 single coils and stuff. So it's kind of focusing on guitars. We have been for a little while, and there's only so much time. But I'll ask John and just kind of see where we're on track. I'm gonna say that it's probably not. I mean, it just kind of would make sense to bring it out at probably like NAMM next year if they would agree with that, but I think that would make the most sense. That I know it's a long way off, but NAMM shows a great chance to release things and stuff. And so, yeah. On that note, Black Glove is saying, talking about that mod, the hot mod thing. The PT100, or sorry, the newer PT amp, PT50, will have some version of more gain, and it'll probably be like a hodgepodge. Not a hot, that's a bad word, but it'll be like similar to what the custom audio one had. It had a gain boost, much like the the hot mod thing or whatever the heck they call it, is further down. It's not like a gain boost in front of the amplifier. It comes later. So it's tube stage later in the amplifier. And so it'll be more like that, kind of like the original custom audio version. So, yeah. Okay. What else we got here? What else you guys talking about? Love the Tracy Gunn stuff. Tracy's super cool. If he's doing stuff on YouTube, I'm sure it'll be, he's really passionate about guitar and music. He's a sweet guy too. He's a fun dude. Fun dude. Ray says, everybody grab your guitar and practice after. Mandatory. I agree. First Responders concert was pretty much all fire. Richie Sambora, I don't want to say anything bad about him, but he didn't seem at his best. Poor dude's had a rough go, seemingly. I don't know. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? What else? Tracy showed a clip of EVH playing Les Paul during a sound check. Was that from the newly released footage? Yeah, I believe so. I saw that, I think. Yeah. Satisfy 30 gigs in 45 days. Yeah, it's going to be lots of gigging. That's okay, though. I'd rather, for the most part, be gigging if I'm out on tour. Days off sort of take it out of you a little more than, it's hard to explain, but they just do. You get in the flow of, like tonight I was knackered, and I just had 2 days off. So it was like a travel day off, and then a full day off, and then into a gig day. And I was like, why am I so tired today? So, yeah, anyways, yeah. Thanks for giving me, that's Joe's, the one pick you used at Harlan last Tuesday. You bet. Thanks for coming to the gig. That was good. That was a fun show. Super fun. Do you have a favorite Les Paul that you've ever played? I mean, yeah, I've played some old ones that were pretty cool. I mean, I loved my old 54. I had a 54 gold top that I sold like a bonehead. I've played some really nice ones. I'm just trying to think, like, what's the best? My Yarn is great, to be honest. Trying to think, like, the gold tops I've played. Brian Ray has a really, really cool gold top that he's had since like the early 70s or something. That's a pretty cool guitar. And I played he had a 59 too that I played, like a real one that was really cool. It was so minty and it felt like a brand new, beautiful guitar. It was in such incredible condition. Kind of a plain top, but it was really cool. What amp do you recommend for Soundgarden's Super Unknown type of tones? Well, that album is mainly a mix of an old JMP, I think, like probably a master volume JMP, I'm pretty sure, and a dual rectifier, I think, at the same time. So, what'll kind of do that? Like a modern. There's a guy that makes great videos, and I think he's playing with Seal now, actually. And I think Seal found him on YouTube because Seal's a YouTube guitar fan. We've talked, actually. Like, he hit me up once, and he loves guitar videos on YouTube. He's a really cool guy. So we got on FaceTime once and rapped about hours and stuff. It was cool. But anyway, so the guy that plays with him, maybe you guys will know the guy I'm talking about because I can't think of his name, but I think he's playing with Seal now. And he makes really nice YouTube demo videos. And he did one of the PT100, actually. And he played some Soundgarden in that, and it sounded really good in the video. It was an original, I think it was an original custom audio one. I think. Maybe it was a newer one. But anyway, he's like plays a Les Paul a lot, like a black Les Paul. And he's got kind of like a living room vibe, but he mics the amp properly. He plays songs. He doesn't just play like shred or whatever. He plays like well-known songs, and he plays the parts perfectly, like really well. He's very good. Maybe you'll know what I'm talking about. But I think he got some great tones out of a PT100 for that. And hey, I used to use a PT100 with Chris. So. We saw the Satriani and Vi tour last year in Charleston, South Carolina. Incredible. Hope you guys play there on this upcoming tour. I saw it last year too in Rochester, and it was awesome. Little did I know I'd be doing it the following year, but so excited about that. I got to go home and get straight into lots of work. Yeah. So. Huge fan from Israel. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that. How do you compare the Swamp Ash to the Alder Oh, you mean like the two guitars? Well, with the P90 style bridge pickup. Yeah, because you're right. The red one, solid color, is candy apple red, and it's alder, and then the other one's a swamp ash. So swamp ash to me always has a slightly airier, more scooped thing going on, and then alder to me has a more super balanced mids, lows, highs, with maybe just a little more mids. Like the swamp ash thing to me is always a little more air. And if you watch a video that I did years ago, and I reference this video a lot, there's like a gnat in here or something. I reference this video a lot when people ask me about, like tonewood, and is it a thing? And I say, go watch this video that I made many years ago for Vintage King, and it's comparing two Sur Classic T's and two Sur Classic S's. The two T's are swamp ash and alder, and the two S's are swamp ash and alder bodies. And I play the same thing on each guitar, and you can listen to them. And I think it's quite apparent in the video, to me anyway. It's apparent that the guitars sound different, especially the T's. I think, and I hear exactly what I was just talking about, where it's a little airier, a little more scoop on the swamp ash guitars, but it's a good, it's cool. Like think 50 Strat versus 60 Strat. There's a whole thing definitely with wood, and I don't care if nobody agrees with me. Ooh, all right. Synergy Sin 20 IR. Be here Wednesday. Already have a Friedman Dirty Shirley model. What's a good one to have to complement that? I loved the Dr. Z one. That was kind of was it? I don't remember what it was. Was it Z-Rec or was it? It's just cool though. It had the cool phase inverter circuit built in, and it sounded awesome actually. So that would be cool, like for a cool different kind of character. It's got a great kind of like legit power tube distortion crank tone thing going on with that module. Pretty neat. Or you could get like something like a the Vi one is quite cool, to be honest. I like it. The green Steve Vai one. It's got a really crystal clean, sparkly, hyper fendery clean channel, and then a much more mid gain solo tone. So that would be a nice compliment to something like the Dirty Shirley, I would think. Yeah. P90s for 70s blues rock sufficient? Absolutely. I think so. Yeah. I think I've got to go because they're gonna kick us out of here. 12:55, and I don't want to get like, you know what I mean. So I'll go 2 more. Oh, there's a big old super chat there from Peter. I gotta grab that. No Fellowship of Acoustics this tour. That's an amazing store in the Netherlands, by the way, guys. If you ever come, it's a music store and it's beautiful. Really, really nice shop. If you ever get over here, right by a creek, and it's like an old government building of some sort, but it looks like an old house, sort of. It's really nice. Have a safe trip home. Thanks for all your efforts in making these live streams from the road. Thanks, Aston. Appreciate that, man. I feel bad I got to split, but I just do, and I wouldn't miss it, but I do have to split. There's Peter. Thank you guys for these super chats. You guys are too kind. This is really nice of you guys, honestly. So, are you mind to change the pickups on your yard? Never. They're amazing. I would never switch them out. How bad are tributes? I need a Les Paul and was pondering one for a moment, but the pickups are 490 R&T and not sure of them. They're okay. I mean, you can always get different pickups, I've left, by the way, those pickups are what I think is in my SG, and I've never changed them. And they're fine. My SG is just my SG, and I never changed anything about it. So, yeah. Any experience with OX4 pictures? Those are aren't those the throwback? Is that right? Am I mixing up different pickup brands? I've tried the throwbacks. I thought they were pretty cool. The ones that I tried, they were a little darker to me than something like my Thornbuckers. I preferred the Thornbuckers, but I thought they were okay. Pretty cool. Those urine pickups are exceptional. It'd be crazy to change the thing on that guitar. Yeah, I'll never change anything on that guitar. I don't think it is what it is. So sticking with it. Good to see you, says Jay. Thanks, man. Yeah. I'll be a little bit. I should probably split you guys. Unfortunately, but I'll be a little bit sort of not on YouTube. That I'll be doing Sunday lives and stuff, but not for that much because I have a sort of crunch time for learning all the material for my upcoming tour, and programming, getting sounds together, getting guitars together, and all that stuff. So I've devoted a couple weeks to doing that, just with nothing else, so that I can just concentrate on doing that every day. And so no YouTube other than Sunday Live for a couple weeks. But after that, come April into May, I'm gonna be making some videos and stuff, and there's some something coming from Headrush, Karsten's amps, I think something from Crazy Tube Circuits, and some other things that, that'll definitely be down the road that are coming video wise and stuff. So I'll definitely get into that. And, that'll be like, first week of April, you'll start seeing me do more. So what are we right now? We're March. Yeah, the 2nd. So you'll see me for Sunday lives and stuff, but not a lot of other stuff until I just kind of can't, because I want to just play guitar and learn and go over, focus. You know what I'm saying? That's I owe that to honor that gig. Got to be completely focused and just drive down that path and stuff, so that you walk into rehearsals with those guys, you want to know things like the back of your hand, right? So that's my plan. But anyways, I'll see you next week for Sunday Live. I'll be back in my studio, and that's it. So everybody take care. I'm sorry it was a short one today, but it's the best I can do for now. Same times, same place as usual next week. It'll be 11:45 a.m. LA time, Pacific time. And everybody just have a terrific week. And if you came out to see a classic rock show gig on the tour, thanks so much. We had so much fun. Another year. It was awesome. Super good times. And we appreciate you all. I appreciate you all. Everybody be nice to one another out there. Have a terrific week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.